Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. It's Wednesday, July 22nd. I'm Stephanie Haney. This is your afternoon update with the top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. This afternoon, Governor Mike DeWine held a press conference related to COVID-19 and he made some major announcements. We'll be getting to those right away. We'll also let you know what teachers are saying about returning to in-person classes in the fall. There is now a law firm looking into FirstEnergy's involvement related to the scandal leading to the arrest of Ohio Speaker of the House Larry Householder. And Kim Kardashian is speaking out about the cause for concern related to Kanye West, his presidential run, and the things that he's been saying publicly over the past couple days related to mental health. So we'll tell you what's happening there. First up, let's get into those announcements from Governor Mike DeWine. He is having his press conference related to COVID-19, and today it becomes official. Masks will be mandated statewide in Ohio because of a new order that's coming from the Ohio Department of Health. Governor Mike DeWine said that today. That order will take effect at 6 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday, July 23rd. The order will mandate that masks will be worn in the following occasions: at any indoor location that is not a residence, when you are outdoors, if you can't stay more than 6 feet away from people who are not in your household, and when you're waiting for, riding, driving, or operating public transportation. That includes a taxi, a car service, any kind of a private ride share. There will also be exceptions made for people who are younger than 10 years old, as well as people who have medical or health conditions that prevent them from wearing a mask. If you are actively exercising or playing sports, or if you are an officiant at a religious service and you're involved in public safety, or if you are actively eating or drinking. That seems to be the big one at those restaurants and bars. If you are actively engaged in eating and drinking, you won't be required under this statewide order to wear a mask. There is also a travel advisory that has been issued. Now, this is not an order, but it is an advisory for people who are entering Ohio from what's being considered high-risk states. So Governor Mike DeWine said today that this advisory will apply to people who are arriving to Ohio from states with a COVID-19 test positivity rate at 15% or higher. Now, that's quite a bit higher than our positivity rate here in Ohio. Our positivity rate today is actually 5.9%. The World Health Organization recommends a threshold of 5%, by the way, for a positivity rating. So this advisory will recommend people arriving from those high-risk states to self-quarantine for 14 days before engaging with the public, engaging with other people here in the state of Ohio. This applies not only to individuals who are visiting Ohio from other states, but also to Ohioans who have traveled and are coming back home. This impacts 9 states right now. Those states are Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Mississippi, Nevada, South Carolina, and Texas. And it also includes Puerto Rico. So those are the places who are being asked to self-quarantine if you do come from one of those places to Ohio under the new advisory from Governor Mike DeWine, which he let us know about today. Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers from the Ohio Department of Health. Those came out today at 2 p.m. The new daily reported cases are up, while deaths and ICU admissions are down. The new daily reported cases, which again, this doesn't necessarily mean that these cases became positive in the last 24 hours, but these are when they were reported to the Ohio Department of Health. But in the last 24 hours, there have been 1,527 new reported cases of COVID-19. That's up quite a bit from yesterday when there were 1,047 new cases reported. That brings the total number of cases that we have had here in the state of Ohio that we are aware of since March 9th to now 78,742 cases. Now, the Ohio Department of Health is also reporting presumed recovered numbers at this time, and right now that is a presumed recovered amount of 54,426. So if you want to do the math there, that's about 69% of those total cases we've known about here in the state of Ohio. That means 31% of the known cases of COVID-19 are active right now. And as I said before, our daily percent positivity testing number is 5.9%. So for all of the COVID-19 tests that we're doing, They're 5.9% coming back positive. Now, over the last 7 days, that average has been 6.3%. And again, where we'd like to be is below that World Health Organization recommended threshold of 5%. In the last 24 hours, there have been 16 new deaths reported related to COVID-19. That's down from yesterday when there were 30 new deaths reported. And on Monday, there were 15 new deaths reported. But on Sunday, we saw a rather high number. We saw 42 new deaths reported. So that just goes to show that number really jumps around a lot. And there is also a bit of a lag in that reporting. So the total number of deaths related to COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio is now 3,235. Now, in the last 24 hours, we saw 128 new hospitalizations reported, bringing the total number of people who have been hospitalized related to COVID-19 to now 9,864. Right now, there are almost 1,100 people who are actively currently hospitalized related to COVID-19. There are 1,098 people actively hospitalized. That's just over 11% of all people who have been hospitalized related to COVID-19 are in the hospital right now. Of those nearly 1,100 people who are in the hospital, 347 of them are in the intensive care unit. So that's just under 32% of everyone who is currently hospitalized is requiring treatment in an ICU here in Ohio at this time. In the last 24 hours, we saw 19 new ICU admissions reported, and that brings the total number of ICU admissions related to COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio to now 2,386. Now let's talk about the national and the global numbers. Here in the U.S., we are now close to 4 million reported cases of COVID-19. Globally, we've surpassed 15 million reported cases of COVID-19. These numbers come from Johns Hopkins University. Here in the U.S., we now have 3,925,025 reported COVID-19 cases and 142,401 reported deaths. Now, some good news here, as I've been taking a look at the death rate percentage, when you compare the people who are reported to have died to the reported number of known cases, that's been going down in the U.S. It's also been going down globally. Right now, based on those numbers, that rate is at 3.6% when you compare the known deaths to the known cases. We are holding steady in terms of how we stack up globally. We have about 26% of the known cases in the U.S. of all the global cases, and about 23% of the known deaths globally have occurred in the U.S. Those global numbers, the cases, are now at 15,016,440, and the total number of deaths globally related to COVID-19 is now 618,001. And if you compare the number of known global deaths to the number of known global cases, that's a death rate of about 4.1%, which has been going down over the past weeks as we've been tracking these numbers from Johns Hopkins University. Now, in Shaker Heights, the Teachers Association is recommending not to have in-person classes in the fall. They would like to have all remote classes through January. Currently in Shaker Heights, the district does plan to begin the school year with at least some in-person classes, but that is against the recommendation of the Shaker Heights Teachers Association. The Teachers Association cited the rise in COVID-19 cases both statewide and nationally, as well as just a lot of unknowns that continue to linger for them. The executive board said this: should we start in January, referring to in-person classes, we'll have missed the worst onset of flu and we'll have established online learning as the norm. They then said that that would make hybrid classes and a virtual academy more manageable and a more high-quality learning situation for the students involved. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics has recommended that schools return to at least some form of in-person classes this fall. Experts have agreed that in-person is definitely a better situation when it comes to learning, but these experts have also said that health and safety is a serious concern and the situation is fluid. Governor Mike DeWine has given similar guidelines to Ohio schools, but did stress that each district does need to figure out what is best for that district. The final decision regarding what will happen in Shaker Heights will be left to the district and the Board of Education. So far in Shaker Heights, the plan is for a hybrid system of in-person and remote learning. So we'll be having to pay attention to that and see if this statement from the Teachers Association has any impact on that. Now, we've been talking about the scandal related to Ohio Speaker of the House, Larry Householder, and now there is a Wisconsin law firm that will be investigating possible securities fraud by FirstEnergy related to that issue. Householder was arrested yesterday and charged, along with 4 others, in an FBI investigation related to a racketeering conspiracy involving $60 million that was allegedly paid to Generation Now, which is a political operative group. Now, this money was allegedly used to promote Householder to Speaker of the House to pass House Bill 6 and uphold a $1 billion nuclear plant bailout. Now, this bailout had customers paying $150 million a year to bail out 2 nuclear plants, which were owned at the time by FirstEnergy. FirstEnergy has not been charged at this time, but officials do say that more charges could be coming. So now, the law firm of Ademi and O'Reilly LLP is looking into a connection between FirstEnergy and Householder and the 4 others who have been arrested. FirstEnergy allegedly spent approximately $3 million on Householder's 2017 campaign. That's when he returned to the Ohio House of Representatives after more than a decade out of that office. Householder became Speaker of the House in 2019 and allegedly returned that favor from FirstEnergy by enacting the law to support FirstEnergy's 2 nuclear plants as well as a pair of coal plants. Now, that legislation was House Bill 6, and that was signed in June by Governor Mike DeWine. In total, political donations and alleged bribes by FirstEnergy and other parties involved may have totaled as much as $60 million, which is what we're learning from the Department of Justice information that's been released so far about this case. U.S. Attorney David DeVillers called this conspiracy probably the largest bribery case ever in the state of Ohio. So this investigation by this Wisconsin law firm will now focus on whether FirstEnergy issued any false and misleading statements regarding its business practices, internal controls, and prospects. In a statement to 3 News, FirstEnergy did indicate that it had received subpoenas in connection with the investigation surrounding Ohio House Bill 6. They said this: "We are reviewing the details of the investigation and we intend to fully cooperate." We will obviously be following that case very closely here at 3 News, and we have lots of stories up on that on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. So if you're just getting up to speed on this, make sure you check that out and get completely filled in there. Now let's take a look at something that's happening in the entertainment world, but also crossing over to the political realm and has a lot to do with a broader conversation in the community about mental health. Kim Kardashian West is now speaking for the first time about Kanye West, who has had open struggles with bipolar disorder and mental health issues. This is all related to Kanye West saying that he was going to run for president this year in 2020. He had a campaign rally in Charleston, South Carolina. That was on Sunday. After that, he had posted a lot of late night tweets on Monday night. He tweeted and then deleted them. He did the same thing last night, tweeting and then deleting things. Last night, he said that he was trying to get a divorce from Kim Kardashian since 2018. On Monday night, he talked about struggles that he said he was having with Kim Kardashian and his mother-in-law, Kris Jenner. And many people are worried for his mental state. Now, some people are speculating that this is a publicity stunt related to him dropping new music on Friday. But Kim Kardashian has never spoken out about Kanye West's mental health struggles, and she did that today. So here's what she said. I'm going to read this quote to you from her Instagram page. She said, "Those that understand mental illness or even compulsive behavior know that the family is powerless unless the member is a minor. People who are unaware or far removed from this experience can be judgmental and not understand that the individual themselves have to engage in the process of getting help no matter how hard family and friends try." She went on to say, "I kindly ask that the media and public give us the compassion and empathy that is needed so that we can get through this. Thank you for those who have expressed concern for Kanye's well-being and for your understanding." Now, with Kanye tweeting yesterday about wanting a divorce, there have also been some sources who said Kim Kardashian was talking with divorce attorneys. However, a source has told Entertainment Tonight that she does not have any intentions of splitting up with her husband, who she married in 2014. That source said Kim is not planning to divorce Kanye West right now. If she wanted to divorce him, she would file, but that's not something that she's planning to do at this time. It appears that Kanye West may be in the middle of a very public mental health struggle at this time, and obviously we hope that for everyone involved, people get the help that they need. And if you do need help with any mental health issues, please reach out to professionals. That's it for your 3 News Now afternoon update for Wednesday, July 22nd. I'll see you next at 5 p.m. on What's New with your trending stories and your entertainment news. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning with the latest headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. I'm Stephanie Haney.